Godzilla. It is my SH Monsterarts Godzilla King of the Monsters Godzilla review. Yes, my zillions, it is time. I got this from HLJ yesterday. Came in with a lot of cool stuff, so please check out my unboxing video because I had to do it twice, so yeah, please support. Give that a check. Don't let my efforts go unnoticed. But here he is. I know a lot of folks have been looking forward to this. We did get a NECA recently, and it was okay. I think my overall thoughts on it was better when I did the review than it is today. Having seen the movie now and having it in hand for a couple of weeks now, I just feel like that one's a little bit off in terms of the movie and a lot in terms of the head. But this one, I can say right off the bat that I think it turned out pretty well. I think it looks more like the movie. I really like the movie, just in case you were wondering. I did try to do a KOTM movie review, and that kind of got messed up as well, so I won't be doing that again. But yeah, this guy's pretty good, guys. Overall, I really dig it. I feel like for the most part, it looks like the way it should. So let's get him off the turntable and have a closer look. Let's take a look at Godzilla's accessories first. First off, we got a lower jaw piece with a little spot of Godzilla Atomic Breath. This is an interesting way to do this, but as you can see, you got some muscle tissue here at the end, and then you got his mouth, bottom jaw there, the teeth look pretty decent. The rest is done in, charcoal gray. This is dark on the inside, and then it goes into this, like, translucent blue. There's no wash on this or anything, which I wish there was, because then the other thing he comes with is an Atomic Breath Ray, which does have kind of, like, almost like a little bit of a frosting to it. It could be just the way the light picks up, but it definitely looks different than this does. It's a little bit different. This blue's a little darker than this, so it is what it is. There is a little bit of a frosting on the top here, for sure, because I look at it this way and I'll see it, and there it is. So this is a decent looking effect part. It is nicely done, so that's pretty cool. Goes in his mouth like that. So you saw that. To take this off, I found taking off the head completely is easier than trying to take off the jaw, and then I've been pushing the jaw out with that, and then replacing that jaw. Now the hole is in there, so you gotta just kind of angle it right to get it in there, but there you go. Goes in decently. And pop the head back in. Watch out this neck joint likes to pop out a little bit, because it's loose. And you put that in there, and then he could look up. I will adjust the camera 1 second, guys. Why don't we do that first? That's how it looks shooting the flame forward. But shooting it upwards, which is what this is for, is not the easiest thing in the world. But there you go. It's not perfect, and it kind of goes like that. And that's really how it is here. Like a little bit of a curve upwards, which is not movie accurate. I guess this is the best it could do. So, yeah, sticking his head straight up kind of works. But a lot of times, the head ends up flopping downwards anyway. But how often are you going to have him like this? Honestly, it was an interesting scene in the movie. It wasn't even my favorite thing that happened. But there you go. It is, I guess, in this monster-verse of a universe, it is a pretty iconic scene. So now you can do it. So there you go. Well, let's take a look at the King of the Monsters himself. I think this looks pretty good. Overall, I do dig it. And in my opinion, it is a lot closer to what we see on screen than what we got from NECA, because I feel like the darker look to it, there is a little bit of a wash going on this guy, but the darker look overall is really what we get on screen. I don't see any, now that I've seen it, any of the paint we see on the NECA, which is nice. I don't really see it on Godzilla on screen much. He looks dark to me, very dark, in fact. So, and I think this Monsterarts does a better job in conveying that. I also think the proportions are pretty good, but I gotta say, both pieces, like, kind of, I feel like missed a mark. I think Godzilla is way bulkier than this. He is a behemoth in the new movie. And it's just, I feel like it's just bigger. You know, like, nobody's done it right yet. He's just bigger. Bigger here. Bigger, you know, like, I really feel that. I don't see, you know, I just feel like these Godzillas are a little skinny in my book. Both of them. But this guy, I think, is very, very nice. Texture is great, of course. It's a Monsterarts. The textures are always great. It feels good. It feels good, guys. You know, I say this a lot, but, you know, like in comparison videos, which I don't know if I'm doing one for this, because even though it's a slam dunk easy one to do, and a lot of people will look at it, I don't know, guys. I'm starting to think, I don't know. I don't know if comparison videos are worth it, because it's like everybody's gonna have their own opinion anyway, and to each their own, you know. So you let me know. You want me to do a full comparison video? I could be convinced, but I feel like I'm starting to get away from them. Yeah, it's becoming too much of a thing out there, so I don't know. Not that I have a problem with it, but I guess I do. I don't know. The dorsal fins are very nice. I do dig them. Really, really well done. Look at all that texture. It's beautiful. Beautiful on both sides. You know, and you can see here, you know, there's a little bit, you know, of different colorization here in the mid and the what do you call it? And the dorsal fins. So you do get a little bit, but it's not overly done, and that is good. You know, that is really good. See, you can see it here, you know, how it's done here compared to the regular charcoal gray. It is going there, going down. So I think that looks good. Like I said, you know, a little bit is cool. It works. Great texture around, man. Hands look good. Feet look good. I do dig him. I like how the nails are sculpted, so very, very nice. Bottom of the tail looks good. The tail overall looks very nice. Really well done. The head sculpt, yeah, that's what you want to look at, right? I think it's pretty good. I do think so. I really do think. Definitely, like, no crazy jaw going on here. I just really think it's well done. My tripod. Teeth they're okay. You know, from what I can tell, they're okay. The tongue is very, very dark. He might need to gargle for real. You find that a little weird? I find it a little weird that the tongue is super dark, but it's not bad. So you got a couple different colors in the mouth, so that's not bad. The eyes, I think look good on mine. I don't know. Like, I don't see anything bad here. The good thing about this, guys, and here's the thing. Their eyes on this Monsterarts are so small that you're really not going to be able to tell. Unless you're, like, super, super looking, super close with a lens. Like, even to the naked eye, I don't feel it's kind of hard to tell. Here, zoomed in, it doesn't look bad, though. They don't look bad. So, I'm happy with this. I feel like this is a more accurate looking take on Godzilla's head. Just not even for accuracy, just like for The fact that it looks good, like everything looks in place. His jaw's not like misaligned or anything, which we've had a bit of a problem with that with some of the Monsterarts lately. Overall, I think this looks pretty good. I don't have any problems with it. So yeah, there you go. Looks good overall. I think this dude, focus, looks pretty awesome. Articulation on Godzilla, we saw the jaw, it moves. Does the tongue move? The tongue moves as well, a little bit. Then you got a ball jointed head here, as we saw also. So that works pretty good. A little bit going on at the neck. You do got a bunch of floating pieces there, so as always, which is pretty good, and it works well enough. Can look down a bit, can obviously look up pretty good. You got this midsection joint that you're gonna get a little bit inward motion, but that's about it. Then the bigger one at the waist, it barely works too. You get a little side to side. Now, shoulders. This shoulder seems decent. This shoulder is super tight. I even heated it up a little bit and I can't get it to do much. So, but this one is a little bit better than this one per se. Then you got the double jointed elbows, which are covered up nicely by the way they do their joint system. So that's pretty good. And you can swivel it around as well. Hinge, swivel at the wrists, the legs. Godzilla doesn't do Van Damme. Kicks that much and stuff and rotates back and forth. The knees, you know, you're not getting a ton of motion out of them. They're there, and they're covered up nicely, so that's always good. The foot, this foot is very loose on mine. Like, strangely loose. Oh, there we go. For Monsterarts. Maybe it wasn't in the ball. The ball joint wasn't in all the way. I don't know. Let's find out. It's in. Still pretty loose. This one not as bad. So the ball jointed ankles. Ball joint up here as well. So you got some extra motion there. At the tail, you got a ton of ball joints, of course. I'm not going to count them, but you get a lot. As expected, all the way to the end, pretty much. This was one whole piece here, but that's expected. But a ton of ball joints. Tail is pretty good. Can move it around, pose it around a little bit. So that's good. I don't really have an issue with the tail. A couple things to note here. I get a gap by the tail here. You can see it better here. So there's that. Youch. So you gotta watch the placement here. Once you do end up getting a pretty decent sized gap between his tail and his body. You can see on this side it's a little better. But definitely there I was having a problem for a bit. So, but that's it as far as the articulation and the shoulder. Otherwise, I think it's pretty decently done, you know, as far as one of these SH Monsterarts go. You know, it's in range with everything else we've seen. For your size comparisons, here he is with the SH Monsterarts Godzilla 14 with the Muto head that came with the Atomic Blast version. I checked them. They're pretty much different sculpts. There's a few spots where you're like, that kind of almost looks the same, like they used the same file to start out or something. But definitely a lot of difference here. As you can see, the legs are different, the feet are different, the hands. Head is obviously different, the back, everything. So I think they look pretty good together, and I do kind of see how this could progress into that. So that's pretty awesome. Here it is with the SH Monsterarts King Kong from the Peter Jackson movie. They look alright together. Not perfect. I feel like this Kong might be a little big for what we're going to get in the next movie. But definitely you could fudge it in a photo if you want. Here he is with Titanicus, Robot Spirits Gypsy Avenger, the For Real Hedorah, the Ultra Action Figure Ultraman Belial, Sentinel Iron Giant, the Good Smile DX Gridman, and getting to his movie mates, the Bandai King Ghidorah. Not so bad, but Obviously, we need still a bigger King Ghidorah. The Jax Rodan, which is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful figure. And probably still my favorite King of them. Godzilla King of the Monsters piece of merchandise. That scales really well together, by the way. The NECA Mothra in its cocoon, which looks really nice as well. Obviously, these will scale pretty well with each other. The movie Monster Series Godzilla. I really like this guy. This might be one of the only ones that does it pretty well as far as the thickness of Godzilla. So yeah, you might be good going cheap. And of course, the wild-eyed, dusty NECA here, which I mean, it looks like it's from a different movie now. Now that I've seen it, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they're so different in a way that like, that's why I'm kind of like hesitant on a comparison video here, because it's just so different. It's like two different. They are two different figures, but like two different parts of the movie. I don't know. It's just, I feel like because they're so different that it's tough. It's a tough one to go with. You could go whichever way you want. I will spoil my comparison video right now. I like that one better. And my final thoughts, I like it. I think it's good. It's got, a couple of spots where it's a little weird. You can see the gappage here. Ooh, kind of standing in a really cool pose though. Kind of loose ankle, tight shoulder. Otherwise, I think the look is really good. It pulls off the KOTM really awesomely. The look is just right. The darker look works here. That's what I see in the movie, guys. It's a dark movie. That's what I see. Whether or not it's not supposed to be like that, I don't know. I don't really care, because that's what I see in the movie. So that's good. The head sculpt is really good. Everything looks like to be in place for me. Obviously, the dorsal fins came out great. So I think this is a really good release. This kind of works. It's not perfect, but it kind of works. It's just a little off. I wish they found a little bit of a different way to do it. But it works well enough. So there you have it, guys. That's my review. It's good. It's definitely a good release by SH Monsterarts, in my opinion. So that's it. That's my review. Hope you dug it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram if you like what I do. Buy me a coffee on Coffee. I need caffeine. The link is down below for all of those things. So there you go. Thanks again. Peace out, peeps.